All right, we're going to take a quick look at Tropical Storm Jerry on this beautiful Thursday morning. I got my Zin in and I am ready to go. So this is the current view of Tropical Storm Jerry on satellite imagery. As of the 8 o'clock Atlantic Standard Time National Hurricane Center update on Tropical Storm Jerry, Jerry currently contains maximum sustained winds of 55 knots, 65 miles per hour, a minimum central pressure of 999 millibars. It is located just to the east of the Leeward Islands of the Lesser Antilles, and it is currently moving west-northwest at about 20 miles per hour. As you can see here, the low-level circulation center is located on the northwestern periphery of the Central Dense Overcast, CDO, and that is due to Tropical Storm Jerry currently moving through a moderate to high shear environment, which I'll show you right here. This is the current analysis of the shear vectors. And right now there's 15 to 20 knots of shear over, this is deep layer shear, and it's averaged, and it's northwesterly shear located over Tropical Storm Jerry, and that's what's giving the tropical storm a very sheared appearance this morning. Not as noticeable as it was yesterday, because it was in stronger shear yesterday, but it's still in moderate to strong shear today. It's just a little bit less. It is projected to move through a region of less shear over the coming hours, which I'll show you here. This is the European model. And then over the next day to 2 days, so Friday and Saturday, it enters a region of lower shear before entering into the mid-latitudes and then becoming sheared again and moving off into the mid-latitude and then deep layer flow, which will take it to the east. I'm going to show you the GFS model, the best model out there. Not really. But here we go. So this guidance is suggesting still that it goes around the western periphery of the subtropical ridge, and then it enters the mid-latitude flow and shoots off to the east. And then this is the surface data, which you can see how close it gets to the Leeward Islands here. It gets fairly close, but the strongest winds are actually located on the east side. So the islands won't experience too much in the way of tropical storm force winds for too long, if any. So there's not much of a concern there. And then it shoots off to the east in the deep layer flow. And I just wanted to show you here, this is the ECENS, the ensemble members. Actually, this is the global ensemble forecasting system. And that shows that pretty much all the guidance is in agreement that this thing is going to turn to the north and then eventually the northeast over the coming days around the subtropical ridge. And then this is the ECENS. And that's also showing the same thing. It's going to shoot off to the north and then eventually the northeast. No threat to the CONUS. And we can say that with 100% confidence at this point. But it is projected to reach hurricane status over the next day or two, especially when it enters the region of lower shear, which is favorable for hurricane development and genesis. That's when we expect it to tomorrow into Saturday. That's when we expect this storm to potentially become a hurricane. I don't foresee it getting past Category 1 at this point based off of how long it's in a sheared environment. And it's only going to be in a low shear environment for a little bit before it re-enters a high shear environment, and then the sea surface temperatures begin to cool down, which this is the overlay with the sea surface temperatures here. So you can see it starts to enter cooler sea surface temperature environment, and that helps to keep these things weaker when you enter into cooler waters. But that's it for right now. I will do a video later on the nor'easter that we're going to experience over the weekend along the East Coast. That's actually a really interesting one, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. I will do a video on that later today, but I wanted to get this out there first because I figure Tropical Storm Jerry is kind of a little bit more interesting than a nor'easter, especially because there's not going to be any snow involved. But there's going to be a lot of rain with the nor'easter and potentially some pretty high wind gusts, so we will make a video on that later. Stay tuned. Make sure to like and follow for more. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Have a great Thursday and go get Zin, because it's not a sin to have a Zin.